So I think CTV and retail media, overall, the market is trying to still kind of figure out where things are going to go. When you think about CTV, it's a premium cost environment. When you think about retail media, they're looking for return on ad spend and metrics like that. We don't necessarily think that means it can't be successful for business outcomes. When we look towards the future, I think the intersection of commerce and retail media and CTV is really poised for growth and innovation. They are the two kind of fastest growing channels in the space right now. So I think it's going to just take partners leaning in and really working together to come up with solutions that work for them.
So what are some of the things that are holding it back right now? Like what are some of the issues that people have with that?
Yeah, so I think fragmentation is a big one, and of course measurement. And I think thirdly is just the lack of standardization, which kind of goes hand in hand with the measurement piece. Retail media is kind of accustomed to the lack of standardization, and on CTV there is kind of no cohesive measurement, so it makes it a little hard to measure ROI or any type of conversions when the measurement's not consistent across the different CTV platforms. And return on ad spend is retail media's North Star metric, so things like cross-site or cross-device attribution and whatnot, I think, are all challenges, but also opportunities where we can kind of get better as an industry and figure out the right path to getting a more cohesive measurement.
Okay, so say I am an average retailer and I want to kind of start doing stuff with CTV. Mm-hmm. Like, what would you say some of the best practices on that are, or something to keep in mind?
So best practices when it comes to CTV and retail media, I think first and foremost is kind of understanding that, CTV is a new environment for a lot of retailers, and you have to get a little comfortable being in other areas of the funnel, right? You might not always be at the bottom of the funnel. I think they need to remember, things are not going to be apples to apples when it comes to how they're buying on mobile or on web executions. Personalization, I think, is really important when it comes to CTV. And the creative, of course. At the end of the day, creative innovation is, we think, vital to kind of driving outcomes.
Excellent. And where does TripleLift play into this? Like, where do you guys factor into the whole thing?
Yeah, so at TripleLift, we believe that there are kind of a few really important ingredients to running a retail media and CTV environment. We think you need the right creative, you need the right data, the right inventory, and the right partnerships. I think all of these things are kind of vital in being successful when it comes to running a retail media offsite. At TripleLift, we are using our learnings from our web executions to inform our CTV strategy. So we're excited to see where that goes. At the end of the day, we keep coming kind of back to ad innovation and innovation in the creative. For CTV, that could mean improving the break. It could mean breaking out of the spot altogether and running in a higher intention moment within the show. And it could mean running an in-show primer and then following up with a spot in the next break. So we're excited to see what works.
Are you guys still primarily an SSP, or do you do other things? Okay,
we are an SSP.
So you're placing the ads for these guys, you're advising them on what to do, and then you're placing them. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it. So I want to switch gears now and talk about where we are at Cannes. So what are some of the things that you've seen here that, like, so far, I know you only got in Monday, but in the last 36 hours that you're like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Right. So there are kind of the recurring themes that I've seen for myself have largely been around, again, creative innovation. There's been a lot of brainstorms and kind of exciting conversations about collaboration and how we can all work together a little bit better to come up with new solutions that ultimately work, again, for retailers and CTV partners.
Excellent. And what's the one thing, sort of even post-Cannes, that you're like really excited about, jazzed about for the year ahead? Like what industry trend do you say, wow, this is going to be really cool?
Yeah, so I think what I'm most excited about is the collaboration that's happening across the industry. Again, in particular to the intersection of commerce and CTV. I think it's exciting, but I also think it's vital and necessary in order for us to end up with really positive outcomes and solutions that drive those positive business outcomes for retailers, while also making sure that CTV is getting everything that they need out of the partnership as well.
So Andy, tell me, I'm a little bit confused. If I am a retailer, why would I want to use CTV? Why would I want to sort of partner with CTV? What's in it for me?
Yeah, so as a retailer, partnering with CTV is really going to unlock a ton of scale that they do not have. The inverse of that is retail media brings CTV a ton of data, right? So any advertisers that want to really get the full programmatic approach and they want to be buying on CTV, but they also want to enrich that targeting and the audience that they're reaching with retail data, it becomes kind of essential for the two of them to partner. CTV really needs the rich first-party data that retailers provide. Retailers need the scale that CTV can provide. I think where it all comes to a head is advertisers who are not making the best use out of their first-party data, or their party data today is really where retail media brings the largest offering. They can access that first-party data through retail media networks and reach their audiences at a much larger scale when you're talking about partnership with retail and CTV.
So if I run a bunch of commercials, I usually don't know how my product does because we don't sell it directly to people. But you're telling me that like a Walmart or an Albertsons can actually tell me how many we sell?
Yes. So one of the key beneficial factors in working with a retail media network is they can really give you that closed loop attribution and tell you, when the path of the entire journey and the sales cycle and all of that. So you're really getting a much better view of what's working when you're working with a retail media partner.